I'ma be honest, I never cared for comics. At least in the beginning, I was more of a movie guy, a goober, a Raimi lover, a non-reader, But in recent times, I have grown far past my child self, but even now, I still have those problems lodged into my brain, one of them being issues. It's a simple concept. It is a collection of stories, and they are mainly a continuous storyline for that comic run. Except this shit is not easy to understand. If you read any DC or Marvel comic, you and I know that when you pick up a comic, then open it and realize something. What the hell is going on? I have had this problem way too many times, and don't get me started with X-Men comics. Throw that shit in the trash. Because what the fuck, man? Why do I have to read so many comics just to understand a simple comic book run? The very concept of comics is so complicated for no reason at all. When you pick up a regular comic book that has book 1 or some shit like that, it's so much more simpler and way less confusing. This shit right here is exactly why no one, and I mean no one, reads a comic book, especially if it's made by these two people. Because I know there's gonna be a goober that says, bro, just read the comics. Okay, now I'm reading the comics and I'm confused. Why is Wolverine mind controlled? Who are these old men that want to kill him? And what the fuck? Wolverine has a girl? What is going on? As much as I enjoyed this comic of Wolverine and also read the sequel to it, and my god, it was dark. But at the same time, if you're a regular comic book guy who is used to reading comics that are standalones and you like reading physical copies like me, you are not gonna have a fun time reading these comics because they are very confusing. And this very problem is the reason why most people who read comic books and are starting out for the first time just quit, because everything is so confusing and feel very fragmented because no one is telling you, oh, you actually have to read this first in order to get why Wolverine gets mind controlled. Now it feels like for this entire video I've just been shitting on comics, and yes, but it's mostly out of love because I actually really like comic books, especially Marvel comics, and I personally think they have more interesting characters that deserve to be more in the big screen, but we probably won't get that for a while because of recent events. Now let me give you guys a guide to reading comic books so you're not confused like me. So first things first, an issue is like the number. Think of it like book 1, book 2 type shit, and as soon as you get that, just Google the runs that are essential reading for you to get what's going on. Make sure to do this because it is important. Now, if you don't give a shit about anything about the huge Marvel storylines that require you to read other storylines, I would like to introduce you to the absolute universe. Now, as much as this universe has lore on why it exists, it's not really necessary to know to enjoy these comics because everything is standalone, like Absolute Batman, which you should read because it is awesome. And I'm already on issue 13, and I have a big smile on my face. Besides the sex scene, which was kinda weird, how do you go from telling Catwoman to fuck off and then smash? That don't make a lick of sense. And currently, as I write this script, the new issue is coming out this Friday, and it will be a generational fight. I mean, just look at the art cover. It looks amazing. Hey there. Editing SLD right here. So it has come to my attention that the issue has been delayed until the 26th. Why would you do this? You know what, anyways, let's get back to the video. Now, this take that's pretty interesting that I will say to people who are non-comic book readers: how do you like a comic book? Like Absolute Batman, for example. How do you like this comic but don't read it? And I know people are gonna say because I've already watched a video of someone explaining what happened in the issue. And that's great and all, but you're not really experiencing the comic. You're just being told what happens in the comic. When people talk about Absolute Batman, they're not talking about the goated story, but more like the crazy shit that happens in the issues. Which is fine, but the ones that don't read comics comics don't seem to care about the journey to that point. Some people just say, oh, look at Absolute Bane, he's so big. Now, not every person acts like this, but there's a huge chunk of people who just don't care about that and care about more of the chaotic nature of the Absolute comics rather than the amazing storytelling. Now, if you're gonna say that you don't rock with comics but still like Absolute Batman or any other character in a comic book, just read the comic. What is stopping you? I see people who are YouTubers and they talk about the comic through a form of a video, but they don't read. Just read the damn comic. Each issue isn't even that long. It's like 30 pages each issue, and that's not even a problem because once you're invested, the pages just pass by really quickly. In conclusion, read the fucking comics if you like them, rather than just watching a video. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Bye.